Hello again in this installment of Spiritual Wisdom. I hope you're all doing well, and as always, I hope these videos are inspiring you, helping you in your spiritual journey and life's journey as well. I'm just grateful to have this little community here on YouTube. And if you're new here, welcome. I hope you're doing well. My name is Nicholas, and on my channel I talk about witchcraft, Wicca, paganism, self-love, crystals and magical properties, as well as plants and their magical properties. I do all kinds of readings here on the channel and talk about all matter of philosophical and spiritual topics. So if you're interested in those types of things, you know what to do. Please subscribe, and by doing so you become a beautiful member of this amazing community here on YouTube. And click the bell icon to be notified each time I upload a new video. And this is a safe place if you're practicing witch, Wiccan, pagan, or whatever spiritual path you be on. There's no right a wrong spiritual path, there's just the path that's right for you, the individual. Now today I'm going to be talking about someone disrespecting your no. So in life, some people are that toxic and negative, they will not take no for an answer. And if someone does not take no for an answer, that is a sign of disrespect. Now it depends, of course, on the situation, on the context, but there are times in life where you might say no to something and a good friend or family member would respect that, because no means no negotiable and it's a boundary. So what got me thinking about this video, like the Craig brothers, there are many films inspired by the Craig brothers. They're very controversial characters, but one of the Craig brothers had a wife and he could drive. So the Craig brother, his wife was in the car, and one of the Craig brothers was driving up to the shop, okay, and he asked his wife, do you want anything, which was a nice thing for him to do. And the wife, he said, do you want any sweets for anything? And she said no, she didn't want anything from the shop. And he didn't respect that. He said, I'll get you. Not only did he disrespect her no, he also insulted her. So he said, I'll get you some sweets anyway. I'll get you some sweets. You need to put on some weight. You're losing weight, type of thing. So not only did he disrespect her no, he disrespected her by insulting her weight as well. But individuals like that they are not capable of, and they're very toxic and negative. But that's another subject. But that's one example, and you could be in a similar situation where if your partner drives and then they were at the shop and then they asked you for something and you said no, you didn't want anything and they didn't respect that. That is a sign of disrespecting you. Another example I could give is if you go to, let's say you go to a pub with friends, or with your partner, right? You don't want to drink. You're not in the mood for alcohol. You might want to drink. You might stick to cola or a soft drink because you don't want to drink alcohol. And then your friend asks you, or your partner asks you, do you want to drink? And you say, yes, I'll have a cola. But and or they ask you, do you want an alcoholic drink? Let's say did they ask you, do you want an alcoholic drink? And you say no, I don't want an alcoholic drink, but they don't respect that and they buy you one anyway. That's a sign of disrespect, because you've said no, you don't want to do something, and that individual is not respecting that. Same if you were in a family situation, you're on a diet or you're trying to change your life, okay? A family member may offer you some chocolate. They're not trying to tempt you or be nasty or anything. They're offering you chocolate because they don't know you're on a diet, or they're offering it to be nice, and you say no to that chocolate, but then they give you the chocolate anyway, or they try and force it on you. So that is a sign of disrespect. So when you say no to something in life, which means no, it's a line you don't want to cross. So that individual said no, I don't want to do that, I'm not comfortable with that, and they cross that line, that's a sign of disrespect, because They're not respecting your boundaries. They're not taking no for an answer. Now, people who are, and this is a sign, usually how you can detect people like this, people who are narcissistic, sometimes sociopaths are much more dangerous. They're both dangerous, though, individuals, but you don't want to be around. And then there's some really toxic, negative people in this world who will disrespect you in lots of ways. But the first sign of disrespect is they don't respect you saying no to them. Like, they try and manipulate you to do what they want to do because they can't take no for an answer. They can't handle rejection. They've got no respect for your boundaries or your well-being. So it's usually when you say no to these people and then you see their true colours, you always, a good friend, good family member would respect, okay, you've said no, fair enough. You've said no to that, fair enough. Or you've said no, you're not well enough to come up and party, or you're not in the mood for partying. Okay, I respect that. But a toxic, negative family member or friend, they're not going to respect that. You said no, I don't want to come to your party because I'm not well, but they want you there because they need you there somehow. They want to take advantage, exploit you somehow. They're not going to respect no for an answer. And in a sense, like, when it comes to, in a sense, it's disrespect, it's because you've said no to something, and that individual, because they're not getting what they want out of you, they turn really nasty, really sour, really manipulative. So that's usually a sign. You might say no to something because you're not well enough, you're not in the mood for something. Good friend, family member would respect it. Not a toxic, negative person. They're not going to take your no for an answer. No. Because they never consider other people's feelings, emotions. It's all about them and what they want. Empathetic people, people with compassion, with good heart, they don't think that way. If someone they take other people's feelings, emotions into consideration, which is the right thing to do. Like, it's great. Part of self-love is enjoying your own company, doing your own thing, but the caveat is, if you want friends, you want people to be in your space, you want people to be part of your life, you have to take in their feelings, their emotions, their wants and needs into consideration. You have to take that. And also, a healthy relationship is based on respect. So if someone said no to you something, you should respect that as well. And again, I would say, when it came to doing like psychic readings, there were certain family members, certain people would, a lot of people would be okay with getting a reading for free, and I would do it for them. But even when I was much younger, some people who were like family guests or that, I would ask them for a reading. Some people would say no, and I was not necessarily respectful because I was a bit pushy, because I really wanted to do this reading because I love doing readings for people, but I was not respectful. But I learned there's a lot of mistakes, like every one of us. But I feel part of the journey of healing and growing is making mistakes and learning from them. That makes you wise, because that people that are much older than us, like our loved ones, which are much older, they might tell you not to do something or encourage you not to do something because they've been there, got the t-shirt, and then they're sharing their experience with you either. But sometimes their experience comes from a place of fear, which means there's no wisdom with it. Sometimes it could be, let's say you're a young person. An example I'll give is, you could be a young person and you've lived with your mum for quite a long time, or you've lived with a parent or guardian. That parent or guardian loves you, they're very good to you, and you've got a beautiful bedroom of your own, but you want to move out. You want to move out and get your own house. Your parent might tell you that it's not a good idea, and they might tell you the ins and outs of it because they've been there before you, they've had a house of their own, and they might explain, well, you've got it quite good with me you've got it quite good with me. You only have to pay a certain amount of dig money, and you've got it quite good with me because you've got it good. Whereas if you live by yourself, you'll not have a lot of money to buy what you want and enjoy. So a parent is giving knowledge there because they know what it's like to live by yourself, to have your own house. So they're sharing their experience with you. So that's passing knowledge on. But when it comes to the word no, and my message really is that when someone does not take no for an answer, it's a sign of disrespect because they're not respecting your boundary. You know, it's like and Matt, as I was saying, got a bit in a tangent when it came to like doing psychic readings. I did learn the hard way to be, I learned from my mistakes. Just as your parents, they don't want you to make the same mistakes as they make, so they try and pass their knowledge on to you. Sometimes they're in the right. Sometimes they're right in what they're saying. Sometimes they're not necessarily right in what they're saying, but their heart's in the right place as well. But that is the key to becoming wise: making mistakes, which is human, and learning from them. So I respect if someone says no to me on about anything, like no, like if I offered to buy someone a coffee or buy them something and they said no, I don't want you to buy me a coffee, that I'd respect that. Or same. So it's important to always to respect someone's no, but if you're kind, compassionate, you're going to do that. But my message here is, if you're kind, compassionate, and you've said no to someone, but they disrespect you saying no, and they turn really nasty, really wicked, that's a sign that you're probably dealing with a narcissist or a sociopath or someone just really toxic in general. There's people that you don't want to be part of your life, and there's people that are really toxic and negative, and you should never tolerate disrespect. But a lot of people might go, I said no to this person, but they didn't take my no for an answer. But you might not know, but that is a sign of disrespect, And if it keeps happening, well, you're dealing with someone you need to let go of as well, or cut away as well. So that's my message here in this video. You saying no to someone is sacred, and a kind, compassionate person would respect that. But someone doesn't respect your no, they're a toxic, negative individual, or there's someone that really needs to learn about boundaries and respecting other people's boundaries as well. And you should never tolerate disrespect. That's because you get what you settle for, and if you settle for disrespect, you're going to get more of the same. So it's up to you to have boundaries with people and to strengthen those boundaries. And it is a sign of disrespect if someone does not respect your no as well. So you have to enforce the boundary or cut that person out of your life as well. If they drain you, they don't make you feel good, that's also a sign that you've got not such a beneficial or healthy relationship as well. As always, I hope this message resonates with you, gives you some guidance as well. And if you've experienced a situation like this where someone has not respected your no, they have disrespected you either consciously or self-consciously, they've disrespected you. So as always, giving you the sage, the knowledge. I hope this video helps you, inspires you as well. And until next time, look after yourself, take care, walk your spiritual path with pride, and if you're part so much of me, stay with you. May meet, may part again. Blessed be.